When we think about AI, we usually picture something living on our screens, right? But what happens when that code breaks out of the digital world and starts controlling the actual physical stuff that makes our world run? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. This massive shift from just code to real, solid concrete. Let's get into it.
I mean, for the longest time, AI has been this kind of digital wizard. It generates text, creates images, tells you what movie to watch next. But now, that very same intelligence is stepping out into the real world. It's driving tractors, it's managing power grids, and it's running factory floors. So, what does it really mean when AI starts to get its hands dirty? All right, so first things first, let's be clear on what we're talking about here. When we say AI is moving from code to concrete, what does that actually mean? We're really talking about a fundamental, tectonic shift in how technology interacts with our physical world. And look, when we talk about AI in the real economy, we're not just talking about some cool new app from Silicon Valley. No, we're talking about the industries that literally build, grow, and move things. The absolute backbone of our physical world. AI is no longer just processing data. It's taking physical action. And believe me, this isn't some far-off sci-fi movie. This shift is happening right now, a lot of the time completely behind the scenes. From the food that ends up on your plate to the package that arrives at your door, AI's influence on the physical world is growing like every single day. So you gotta ask, right? What's the big push here? Why are all these companies and even governments pouring billions and billions of dollars into making this happen? Well, it pretty much boils down to a few really key goals. At the end of the day, it's all about making things faster, cheaper, and safer. Just think about it. AI can help companies make way more stuff with less energy and fewer materials. It can send robots into jobs that are way too dangerous for people, which is great for worker safety. It can spot tiny little defects that a human eye might miss, and, this is a big one, it can optimize how we use our resources, just slashing waste across the board. Okay, but how does a piece of software, a bunch of code, actually control a physical machine? I mean, how does that connection even work? This is where things get really, really cool. Let's unpack the mechanics of it. The best way to picture it is like a digital nervous system for an entire industry. You know how our brains use our senses, our eyes, our ears to understand the world, and then use our muscles to act on it? Well, it's the same idea. An AI brain connects to all the sensors and all the machines of an entire operation. And here's how that whole nervous system works. It's this constant loop. First up, you've got sensors out in the real world. Cameras, thermometers, you name it, and they're just collecting tons of data. Then all that data gets zipped over to the AI, which crunches the numbers, looks for patterns, and decides on the best thing to do. From there, the AI sends an instruction back, and boom, something physical happens. A robot arm moves, a valve adjusts, or maybe a person gets a new instruction on their screen. All right, so that's the theory, right? But where can you actually see this stuff in action? Let's get into some real-world examples, and I think a couple of these might actually surprise you. First up, let's head out to the farm. Now, agriculture might not be the first thing you think of when you hear high-tech, but wow, it is being completely transformed by AI. The level of precision here is just mind-blowing. Imagine this. Instead of just blanketing a whole field with weed killer, these AI-guided tractors use cameras to literally look at each plant, identify which one is a weed, and spray just that one. It saves farmers an absolute fortune on chemicals. And of course, it's so much better for the environment. A perfect example of optimizing resources. Okay, next, from the farm, let's step onto the factory floor. In manufacturing, time is literally money. If a single machine goes down unexpectedly, it can cost a company a fortune. And that's exactly where AI is making a huge, huge difference. This is an absolute game changer. The AI is basically listening to the sounds of a machine, it's feeling its temperature, it's analyzing all its performance data to predict a failure before it even happens. This whole idea is called predictive maintenance, and it's all about stopping problems before they even start, keeping those production lines humming. And last up, let's think about how stuff actually gets from point A to point B. The entire global supply chain, that massive, complicated web that gets a package to your front door, yeah, AI is totally rewiring it. So next time you're tracking a package online, there's a really good chance AI is working hard in the background. It's constantly crunching numbers on weather and traffic, recalculating the absolute best routes to save fuel and get products to us faster. It's a brilliant look at how digital smarts can optimize these enormous physical networks. Okay, so we've seen all the amazing things this tech can do. And the promise is huge. But you knew there was a but, right? We have to talk about the other side of that coin, the peril. This shift comes with some very real risks, and it's so important that we look at both sides. On the one hand, the benefits are awesome. More efficiency could mean lower prices for you and me. And sure, some jobs might be displaced, but new tech jobs will pop up. But then you've got the risks, and they are serious. What happens if a sensor breaks and the AI starts making decisions based on bad data? Or even scarier, what if hackers get control of a power plant or a shipping fleet? The stakes are incredibly high. And this is the one thing you've got to remember, the crucial takeaway. If an AI that generates images makes a mistake, you get a weird picture with 6 fingers. It's funny, right? But if an AI controlling a 2-ton piece of machinery in a factory makes a mistake, the consequences can be physically dangerous. The stakes are just so much higher when code is controlling concrete. So this is where we are. This technology isn't on the horizon anymore. It's already here, and it's actively reshaping our physical world. The potential for a more efficient, more productive, and honestly a safer world is immense. But getting there, harnessing that potential while managing these very real risks, that's going to take some serious planning and some tough conversations. The real question isn't if this will happen, because it already is. The question is, how are we going to manage it? Are we ready?